Someone light a blunt up.
Where the weed at?
We keep it real, G. I could've swore I told ya. Now at attention, you fucking with some soldiers. We from the streets, yo, somebody should've warned ya. And now you lying there without no one to mourn ya. The real motherfucking G. Real G. OGT from AZ and Little E from CPT. We bring that motherfucking heat. Bring that heat. Stomping in our chucks as we pull up on your street. We keep the steel cocked back.
Yo, what's going on, man? This is your boy Mike Nin. This is a live ride exclusive, man. And it's super dope that I'm in the building today on 43rd and Bethany at OG's Barbershop, man. And I'm with my boy OGT. We're going to deep dive into the barbershop and how we're going to be going and getting our cuts here. And this is a new spot, man. But we're going to deep dive into that, man. First, I want to introduce my guest, man. OGT. I know this guy. He's been around. I've interviewed him on the live podcast, man. He's did Music Raws. We'll get into that a little bit. This guy has just been building up the community, man. He's growing out, expanding, and I'm super excited to deep dive into the barbershop, OG's Barbershop. OGT, man, what's cracking with you, bro?
What's happening? What's happening?
Yeah.
Good to be here, brother. Good to see you.
You like
again.
the introduction?
Oh yeah, loved it. Hey,
That's awesome. Hey, man,
top notch.
Every time I interact with you, bro, you're always doing something, pushing the mark. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying?
sir.
So right now we're sitting in the barbershop today, which
Yep.
is super dope. And, we're going to make sure everybody gets all the views and everything, all that stuff. So that's super dope. Let's start with, first and foremost, the barbershop.
Yes, sir.
How it's coming along. I definitely want to deep dive into the name, too, because that's super dope. We'll tell you how it's all spelled and everything. That's super dope. But, man, go ahead and start off with the the barbershop and all that stuff you got going.
Yeah, all right. Shit. Well, we're at OG's Barbershop. Been in the barber business family wise. My mom has owned a shop for like 30 years.
Oh, nice.
She's owned this shop since we were kids and stuff. So she's at the age now where she was talking to me, talking about I want to retire. I'm thinking of closing the shop down, and then doing my thing. So when she mentioned that to me, I was like, well, hold up, let's keep this shit going.
Yeah.
Let me jump in. Let me take over, the shop. I'll transition it into, how we want to do it. And I'll make sure that you don't lose the business and, we can keep this going. So she was all for it, bro. Easy,
Bro,
you know
that
what I
is
mean?
super
Yeah.
freaking dope.
So it's part of, I always talk about like building a legacy and shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's part of that and kind of involving a family thing, you know what I mean? I have my kids and my wife who are going to touch base on cosmetology and things like that.
Oh, nice.
So that way we can get our kids to be a part of the business and
Yeah.
possibly expand and open other shops and stuff like that.
And that's
you know
super
what I mean?
dope because these days and age, like with the generation, people are building things and their
Yeah.
kids kind of don't want no part.
Yeah.
They're just kind of like, I don't want to do this. I always wanted to do this instead. So for you to, well, shout out to moms first and foremost.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out
She's
to
been
Mom's
doing
Big
she's
Time,
been
yeah.
doing it for a long time, and
For a
she's
long
kind
time.
of gonna chill out now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's super dope, man. And for you to come and man, that's a dope opportunity,
Appreciate it,
man.
bro.
And that's
Yeah,
super
appreciate it.
respect, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, your mom got any plans? She can go to Hawaii.
She's she has property in Mexico.
Oh, okay.
That they inherited when my stepdad's parents passed away. They got their ranch and all the property out there.
Oh,
So her idea was to kind of go out there and chill and enjoy life for a little bit, and
Yeah.
then come back here. But at least she has that over there that when she needs to get out, she could get out. So
Nice.
shout out to her for doing this for such a long time. And I told
Yeah.
her, now it's our turn to take it on. We'll make the transition. I used my music contacts and everything to kind of get the vibe and get Little Easy involved in what we're doing here, so that way we can boost the shop and get people to know the shop and where it's at and how to get and
Yeah.
communicate with us
for sure.
and build off of that.
And speaking of Easy, you said that he had a lot of involvement, and with the shop. And then also I wanted to talk about the transition to the names, how your mom felt about it.
Oh, absolutely.
Not like she's being negative,
Yeah.
enough, but I want to know what it was before the transition. So let's back up with the Easy. Like,
All
what's
right.
that involvement? I know you see you got some of your contacts, plugs, and how was that, bro? Because that's super dope.
Yeah.
Networking
Oh, absolutely,
is
bro.
prime real
Man,
estate.
and I tell that to people all the time, bro. Oh, you got to network. You got to network. You know what I mean? Be open to talk to whoever's in the room where you're at, because you don't know who you're standing next to.
Yeah, of
And
course.
we've benefited off of that a lot of times. But with E, everybody knows I've been working with E for a long time already. Became
Yeah.
a part of Rich and Ruthless. Got it tatted on my wrist or on my fist.
Oh shit!
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we made it official and stuff. And in working with him, it's not just about me being a part of the label and making music. I wanted to prove to him that, you know, I can get out here and push the Rich and Ruthless brand and include it in the movements that we're making out here in Arizona. So it's kind of like the Arizona chapter, Rich and Ruthless.
Yeah.
You know, so then when I started talking to him, we started talking a lot about business, and I started kind of trying to get more business. You know, we got involved with the Vortex, so we're in business doing we're in the process of doing business with Vortex to bring a little easy strain out here in Arizona,
Oh, okay.
and make like a Compton package that you get when you buy the strain. So that's in the process right now. It's going to be so dope, bro. And me and him are business partners on that, teaming up with Mike and everybody out there from Vortex. So in keeping that whole business aspect and mentality open, you know, when this opportunity jumped in, we started talking to Little E. You know, hey, I have an opportunity to open a barbershop. I'm already, you know, going to get my licenses, all that, so I can have the barbershop, you know, and I told him it'd be dope if, you know, you blessed it and we made it, you know, Rich and Ruthless affiliated. So he was all for it, bro. Like, hell yeah, let's
no,
do it,
that's-
bro.
Yeah, and that's
know?
a blessing, bro.
Absolutely.
You know, because
absolutely.
you know, in the entertainment industry, you know, people would love to rub elbows with Little Easy. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And you know, and the fact that, you know, you've pushed so hard where you have somebody that, you know, is so big up on the spectrum where they're like, hey man, I'm rocking with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to integrate that and then to bring it out to AZ, because, you know, California is our brother state,
Yep.
or sister state, however
Yep.
you want to say, brother.
Brothers.
Yeah. But you know, the fact that, you know, bringing that out here is dope, you know.
Yeah.
And to me, being born in California and stuff, to me that always brings a piece of home.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm not gonna get into all that AZ California
Yeah.
stuff. But you know, this is my home.
Yeah.
You know, I love Arizona, and every time I see stuff like this, it's dope. You know, because
Yep.
it's bringing a piece. So, kudos, man, that
Appreciate
you're
it.
out there, you know, doing big things. So,
Appreciate
he was like, yeah, I'm rocking with you.
Yep.
And then the name, was it something that was on the back of your head, or you kind of just built it up and like, no,
Well,
this is dope.
it kind of popped in my head because I wanted to, you know, with my artist name is OGT,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I kind of wanted to keep it in the aspects of that. And even before the barbershop, me and wifey talked about other businesses that we wanted to open, and I always had it in my head, OGs, but spell it OHGEEZ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And with other business that we kind of ventured and we're talking about, this is the first that came up. So I was like, oh, hell no, that's going to be a sick ass name for a barbershop. And then
Yeah.
especially the way that it's spelt. So we kind of went with that. And, you know, you kind of brought up my mom and how she felt about the transition, but she was all for it, bro. Like,
Oh, that's awesome.
my mom's a big supporter of me,
Yeah.
bro, and what I'm doing with the music. And I think in her mind, the reality of who I'm actually involved with and stuff in the music never really hit. You know what I mean? She knew I was
Yeah.
doing the music. She knew we did shows, but it never really clicked on her. When we went to Spokane and we did a show out there,
Seen that? That's dope.
yeah, it was humbling as hell, bro. And you know, all the kids rushed me, bro, after I performed to get autographs, and you know, I signed a baby. You know what I mean? And parents were like, you know, this is gonna be worth money. So you know, it was dope. Shout out to my boy Cordell for putting me on that. But that's when my mom seen, you know, our footage and stuff, and my dad seen it, and they were like, well, damn, like he's actually signing people's like shirts
Yeah.
and everything. You know what I mean? So now she's like, well, who is this easy guy? You know what I mean? Because my mom's Mexican, bro. Like, so
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, well, let me tell you a little bit about it. And, you know, we have the plaques and the pictures that are up here. So I kind of started explaining this is his older son. I said, he's the main one that started the whole, you know, gangster music back then that you wouldn't let me listen to when I was younger. You know what I mean? So now she understands like the whole thing, and she's excited to be here the day of the grand opening and meet Little Easy and,
Oh, that's
and see what
awesome, bro.
everything's about, bro. But she was a big supporter from the beginning. I told her my thoughts. I said I want to convert it into a barbershop. I bought my barber chair, which I'm going to buy more and kind of, you know, make it like an old school, authentic looking shop.
Yeah.
And then I started, I want to involve what I do with music into the shop.
Oh,
You know,
gotcha.
so when I started explaining to her, she kind of had an idea in her brain, but it wasn't until we did this that she was like, whoa, oh, okay. Like, you're
Yeah.
serious about this. And I was like, oh, yeah, we're getting it. You know what I
Hell
mean?
yeah. And then you said that your mom had this shop for a while.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So this is like home. Like you,
Yeah.
like this, like you walk in here, and you're like, bro, I remember this when I
Yeah.
was back in the day.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
how does that feel? Because I bet, bro, that's just like so soothing.
Oh yeah, I love it, bro. I love it. You know, I used to always come in here and get my hair cut. My mom used to be the only one that cut my hair for years, bro, for years. And I used to always come in here, and she used to always cut it here, and I never went anywhere else. One of the agreements that we had, because we have our two hairstylists that work here, Isela, and then we have Julio. So our agreement was, as long as you keep them on board, you know what I mean. You can transition over, and then so to them, they're family, bro. We've known them since. They worked with my mom for like 15 plus years. You know what I mean?
Shit. So they got their
they've
clientele.
been here a while. Oh yeah, and you know that's part of it too. I mean, they have their clientele. They're making the business. They're bringing in money. Of course, I'm going to keep them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
But as we grow and this evolves, you know, I do definitely want to put more chairs, get more barbers in here, and you know, kind of push that
for sure. So getting back into that aspect, I know it's a barbershop, but you also have other services as well.
Yes.
Let's start with the barbershop stuff.
Okay.
So you said that you had went to school, and because you're probably cutting, like you said, you're doing it for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Family and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
I was,
and you're like, hey, I want to get it.
I was a jailhouse barber.
Yeah. You're like, now I want to get the license. I want to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Tell me about the barber skills, bro. Like what does people want to see when they come in this joint, or what do you have to offer them, bro?
I'm caught up on like all the newer stuff, like the tapers, the fades, everything. That's what we've been kind of focusing on, especially when I've been going through school, because we look at the market, you see what's hot, you see, you know, what everybody's trying to get cut. So those are the things that we brush up on. So, you know, everywhere from the Edgar cuts, you know, to the tapers, you know, to the fades, to all that. And, you know, during school and when I was going through that, I would vigorously watch a lot of like TikTok and YouTube barbers that show you all the tricks in the trade of how to get those nice fades and the blur fades. So I would practice that all the time and started getting better and better at it.
Yeah.
And, you know, especially in school, because people come in, you know, to get haircuts from students. So they expect, like, you know, sometimes you do make a mistake, but the teachers are there to fix it so they don't leave with a messed up haircut.
Yeah.
So that's where I would practice everything and do my tapers. And, you know, if I struggled or messed up, they would come in, oh, look, do this. And then I would get tips from the barbers on TikTok and stuff. And, I'm going to try that the next. And I would try it. Oh, hell yeah. That's game time. Let's go. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? I was gonna get to that. That's dope. That you're saying about the learning and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to say he's old and shit, but you know, you ain't no spring chicken.
No, right. I'm up there, bro. I ain't gonna. I ain't ashamed.
But, you know, sometimes when folks are, you know, they're like
Yeah.
doing something like, man, I've been doing this. What could I learn? I just need the paper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the fact that you're like, no.
I want to do hands on. Like what? That's the main thing is like. When I started going to school, I got a little frustrated at first because learning all this new stuff it's all technical. I've cut hair since I was a kid, bro. We used to do fades on the homies.
Yeah.
Like I said, in the jail, I was cutting hair. I was a jailhouse barber, so I had an idea. But once you go into school, it's more technical.
Gotcha.
And then you know, there's a lot of shit that you have to learn, not only about barbering, but about like skin and fluids and stuff like that, like doctor shit. So at that point, I was just like, oh. Damn, why do I got to learn all this? It's, you know, confusing.
Yeah.
But then as you go on and you progress and as you're transitioning, then you understand the reasons behind why you need all of that. You know what I mean? So little by little, I started picking that up. And, you know, my main thing is I don't want to just own a barbershop and have barbers cutting hair. I want to be in here cutting hair.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? So even my mom told me, dang, like, you know what I mean? You should have done it when you were younger. You would have already been. And I was like, oh, it's cool. I still feel young. Shit, I got like another good 20 years in me.
No, that's all good. That's
dope.
dope.
Yeah. So, but it's coming on, bro, and I'm excited about it. You know, my mom was excited about when she sees how excited I get and how serious I am about it. So, most importantly to me is like leaving something behind for our kids. You know, that they can transition into and keep businesses going. I have my daughter Soraya, who's the boxer. Okay. She's going to barber school right now.
Oh, nice.
You know what I mean? So she's halfway through her schooling. So when she graduates, I'm gonna have a seat in here for her, and we can get her going and, you know, get her transitioning here, so that way she can start helping us with running the business and all that.
Okay.
And then our other daughter Frances wants to go to cosmetology school. She just graduated. So we're looking to get her started on that. And like I said, wifey wants to learn a little bit about that too, so she could come in here and we could all just make it a family business and run shit, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. Absolutely.
Hell yeah. No, that's super dope, man. When you doing the when you do like the barber stuff, Do you ever give tips to your daughter that's at the end of school right now, or are you just kind of like letting them do what they need to do?
No, no, I always give her tips. She used to come to me before she started school
Oh,
because
okay,
she used
gotcha.
to just kind of try to cut her friend's hair just because she liked cutting hair.
Yeah.
So then when she would like not finish or mess up her hair, she would come to me and say, "Can you fix this, Dad?" You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but right now I give her a lot of tips and trades. You know what I mean? But the main thing for her that what I tell her is I want you to be in there and learn as much as you want without me interfering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you come to me and you ask me this, that, or the other, I'll be more than happy to show you. But any barber will tell you, you know, you only learn the basics at the shop. All your experience comes when you actually start working at a shop, you know, because when you're in school, they're just teaching you the basics. They're showing you, you know, how to, you know, line up, how to, you know, do your tapers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's not until you get really hands on that you start learning all the real tactics and stuff like that. So I try to cut hair as much as possible, even in school. And then now I do appointments all the time, bro. The homies from work and everything come over here for the haircuts.
Oh,
So,
nice.
you know, I get practice all the time and perfecting my stuff. So that's why I'm excited to
Yeah.
get that knocked out and to get the grand opening going so I
Hell
can
yeah.
be down here.
Looking into like expanding, I know that you have two folks that are coming on that you know, like you said, we're family. You've known them
Yes.
for a long time. But then you have other people, or just yourself?
It's
Like,
just going to be myself right now.
Okay.
The main thing is because they're more cosmetology hairstylists.
oh, got you.
So what I want to do is kind of keep them here, so that way it's not just like a male barbershop where dudes just come in
Yeah.
here, but we have them and they've won awards, bro, for you know their work on you know styling and the highlights and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and they're dope at what they do. So keeping them here allows the whole family to come in. You know, if the women want to come in and get their hair cut, they can come in here and get it done professionally by, you know, our stylist. One of the things we ran into when I went to barber school or when we had events like the back to school drives is little girls would come in wanting a haircut and we would turn them away because we were a barbershop. You know what I mean? And that's what I didn't like. You know what I mean? And then I
Yeah.
would even have to like kind of apply pressure sometimes to get somebody to do it that knew how to cut little girls' hair because we didn't. They were waiting in line all day to get a haircut, and then you tell them no. You know what I mean? So that's what I didn't want at my barbershop. Is
Yeah.
come in, you bring your kids, even you bring your wife, and if they want, you know, highlights, perms, whatever they want, I have people that can, you know, take care of your wives, and I'll take care of the fellas on the barbershop
Yeah.
side.
Or nice, or just a nice little trim, real quick.
Yeah, anything,
Damn,
bro.
see?
Anything, bro.
Damn.
Anything.
I think OGs might be the spot for me because I just took my two daughters about 2 weeks ago to get their haircut. It was dope, you know, but it was weird for me because I have a bunch of sons.
Yeah.
So they've always got haircuts. You know what I'm saying? So when it was like, oh, you know, I want to get my girls' haircuts, I was like, where the fuck do I go?
Yeah.
I don't meet no one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, we found a place.
Yeah.
But, you know, the power of Google.
Now
But
you have another place here. You
yeah,
have a home
for sure.
right here.
No, that's awesome,
Yeah.
man. So let's talk about the grand opening. So
Yes,
I know
sir.
that it's about a month and a half away, I believe.
Yes.
Almost
Roughly.
damn near.
Roughly.
Huh?
Yeah, it's coming fast. It's coming by fast.
Hell yeah. So do you want to touch on the story about it being here, then not being here, then being here?
Yeah, we could kind of touch on that real quick because that was a little, you know, and I apologize, you know, to the homies that wanted to do an event here, and I kind of had to turn them down because of a situation. But what ended up happening is there was some owners that owned this plaza, and I had discussed having a grand opening on the 15th to do everything that we want to do. They gave me the thumbs up to do it, so we started renting a stage. We rented porta potties because we want to, you know, do a big Easy's coming down here, and so we were excited. We started blasting it. A couple of the homies came in and wanted to do, you know, a toy drive and a trunk or treat. So we were like, hell yeah, let's get it. You know, you guys are welcome to use the lot.
Yeah.
So then right after I told them yes, about a few days later, the owners called me and say, we changed our mind. You guys can't have that here. It's a liability. So, you know, we offered to get $1 million policy for the day for liability damages, stuff like that. And they weren't having it. So we were just like, damn, we're like screwed. We just put deposits on all this stuff. So we were just kind of kicking back. Well, we'll still have it. You know, we're trying to figure out how can, you know, we still do for the community and have them come down here. So we were planning, you know, we'll cook burgers, cook hot dogs, have a DJ out here. You know what I mean? Have the homies pull up with cars, you know, still get everybody to come and check out the shop. So it wasn't until about a few days ago, I would say last week sometime, I talked to Moms and she says, so I ended up talking to the new owner of the plaza. And I was just like, you know what I mean? Like, new owner? What? Like, hold up.
Damn.
Who is it? And then she gave me the number. So it's a blessing in disguise, bro, because the new owner Actually owns the exotic warehouse that's down the block, and she ended up buying the plaza. So she was cool as hell. You know what I mean? We're gonna meet with her on Monday to go over the details of what we're doing. But I kind of told her who I was, who I was affiliated with.
Yeah.
And I let her know, my mom's business partner, and this is what we plan on doing. With the barbershop. So she was excited about it, and and I told her, I want to have a car show and show and shine. And she got it more excited because she's from Cali, and she's like, my whole family drives lowriders. That's exciting.
Nice.
So immediately in my head, I was like, oh, we're in,
Yeah,
bro.
that was a W.
Yeah. So then I told her about Little Easy coming down, and she was like more excited about that. You got to be kidding me. I said, no. I said, that's my boss. You know what I mean? I'm on his record label. And she's like, do you think he'll give my business a shout out? I said, I'll make sure he gives your business a shout out.
Fuck
And
yeah.
she was just like, you're good. Like, do what you got to do. You know what I mean? And then she told us that she's also having an event that weekend in the parking lot. But it's going to be more of a 420 event. So
gotcha.
then she wanted to combine our events. So that's what we're going to end up doing now is our event just grew a little bit bigger now because we're kind of putting the two events together and
Nice.
rocking the parking lot for the whole weekend. So
Hell yeah. Well, that's dope, man. How everything works out. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Even with the folks that unfortunately like they had to get other spots or
Yeah.
it didn't happen as quick as or you weren't even expecting it.
No, not at
You
all.
know what I'm saying?
It was a
So,
blessing in disguise, bro, because we
yes.
were already just kind of like kicking ourselves in the butt. How can we still make this dope? How can we still, put out and let everybody know this is the spot? So we're coming up with a bunch of different ideas to be able to still do that. And I kind of told the old owners when they told me no, I said, well, I'm still having a grand opening. Just know that all of my friends drive lowriders, so there will be
Yeah.
cars parked out there. I am getting a DJ still, you know what I mean? So it was kind of one of those things, but it turned out to be a blessing, you know what I mean? And the way that it combined with her event is even better. You know what I mean? We still got the stage, we got the porta potties that we're gonna be linking up. So we're gonna make sure we put on a good show. I got a bunch of local artists on the roster that are gonna come and turn up for us too.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean?
Bro.
So it's gonna be from 12 to 6 all day event. So it's free event. You don't have to pay for anything. Any vendor that wants to be a part of it, holler at us. We still got a little bit of room for vendors.
Okay.
Cars, anybody, any clubs or anybody that's free that day that wants to pull up. We are giving out, trophies.
Oh, nice.
To the cars, there is no registration fee. So we're
Mhm.
doing it free, a free event for everybody. So if you have a car, even if you're a solo rider and you want to enter it, come register it for free and you could possibly drive away with one of the trophies that we have set up.
That's awesome. And that's
Yeah.
for the grand opening.
And that's for the
Barbershop.
grand opening OG's Barbershop, November 15th.
Jeez, and that's 43rd and Bethany.
43rd and Bethany, 6013 North 43rd Avenue.
Hey, I was about to be in your ass if you didn't know it. I said, bro, your mama's been in this shop for the whole
Oh,
month.
no, we definitely know it.
That's awesome, man. So as we're talking, I'm gonna, we're gonna show the barbershop and all that good stuff.
Yes, sir.
But just from what you remember, because you probably put it up, tell me a little bit about the stuff you have on the wall that you're building. So I kind of see half, OGs and half normal.
Yes. Yes. So we're still transitioning. Right now, I want my stylist to feel comfortable and still be able to get used to where they're at. I
Of
didn't want
course.
to completely then come in and it's totally different place. I'll ease into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
for
I
sure.
kind of made the agreement right now that for right now, this side will be the barbershop side, and then I'll keep the salon side on this side.
Nice.
So it's a little bit about how they had it. The whole shop kind of looked like that. That's kind of what I talked to my mom about. Like, we need more color in here. I was like, we need more stuff that stands out that can catch the eye when people walk in here. So I told her, let me take care of it. So we did this on this side. Once she seen that, she was like, whoa. Even my dad was like, wow, that looks dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It totally looks like a totally different shop. So then now we're looking for paintings and stuff that we can hang on this side to make it more colorful, more vibrant, but still keep the salon look on this side. So that way they can work on
Yeah.
that side and still feel like they're, in a salon and stuff like that. So
Okay.
it's going to be coming along, and there's going to be a lot more on this side once we get to the grand opening. So
That's nice.
yeah.
And then so you're on the left side right now doing your thing. You have the stuff on the wall. I seen a couple signatures up here.
Yes.
What you got up there?
So a lot of the framed work that we got up there are a lot of the shows that we've thrown.
Okay.
When we brought celebrities down to headline the shows. A lot of the autographs are from the celebrities and the artists that performed at those shows.
Oh, nice.
So you'll see those there. And then I have we ended up going and we met Corey B. He's a TikToker,
Oh,
comedian. So he signed some stuff for us. So we put him up there because he's a cool homie.
Hell
You know
yeah.
what I mean? So we support everybody, man. And I have a lot of our local artists on that wall. So any of you local artists that come into my shop, you might be in a lot of these pictures up here. And of course, we have to pay tribute to the Godfather of gangster rap, Eazy-E. So I did this big picture mural right here to kind of represent the whole Rich and Ruthless family and the respects to Easy and the Wright family.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
And
yeah,
that's super dope, man. I never realized. Is that a Penn State hat he has on?
oh no, it looks like it. Yeah,
That sure is a Penn State hat on. That's crazy.
yeah.
Hey
so-
man, that's dope, man. Cause, you know what, out of respect, you've been so involved since I met you with the Rich and Ruthless and
Yes.
everything. These days and age, when I hear about Easy, I think of you, bro.
Oh, I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm
I
like, oh,
appreciate that.
OGT's people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
I've
the
heard
guy.
that quite a few now, and
Yeah.
and that makes me feel good because that was my intention and my purpose.
Yeah.
To get people to understand my affiliation, but to also bring the Rich and Ruthless down to Arizona, so people become more aware. You know what I mean of that, and
Yeah, bro.
and that's why I've been just working hard, bro, and pushing Rich and Ruthless as much as I can, having them get involved in everything that we do. And kind of keeping that whole legacy from Easy all the way to Little E to Baby Easy and everybody in the Ruthless family that that vibes with us and stuff like that. So
Hell yeah. No, that's awesome, man. For real, like,
Yeah.
it just got to the point now where it's like, hey, man, I'm glad this guy's still keeping it around. 'Cause,
yeah, it has.
I'm
heck
not
yeah.
saying that it's not, it's not that it's
Yeah.
going anywhere, but it's good that, that
But
we
it's been
still
one of
hold-
those things where everybody knows Easy. A lot of people know of Little Easy,
Yeah.
but it was never to the point where it was a part of Arizona.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what I wanted to bring is I wanted to make that a part of Arizona and Phoenix. So when I did get to work with Lil Easy, that's where I made Phoenix to Compton.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to kind of build that barrier or take down that barrier and have us like transition this way and get everybody to know who Rich and Ruthless is, to know who Little Easy is. So at that point, we just started he started coming down for everything. My birthdays, bro. When he would have events down here, he still calls us all the time. Hey, bro, I just landed. Can you come pick me up? Yeah, I'll be right there.
Hell
You know,
yeah.
and then we take him where he needs to. We spend weekends with him, just vibing and doing what he does, and enjoying the life that he brings to the table for us. I don't know how many of my bucket list I checked off ever since I met Lil Easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he just brings a lot to the table, and it's like kind of our reward for doing what we do to make sure that we represent him the best that we can out here in Arizona. So.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. And then coming in here, it's like, not only that you're gonna get a dope ass haircut, you get a little bit of nostalgia with the stuff that you got on, like
Yeah,
the,
absolutely.
the stuff on the wall and everything. And I think it's a whole dope ass movement, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
You
and
know what I'm
that's
saying?
kind of the vibe I wanted to give is the whole this is our life, outside of the barbershop, but bring it
Yeah.
into the barbershop. And music for us is everything, bro. We're still continuing to make music, and eventually, what's gonna end up happening is I'm gonna have a microphone in that corner, and I'm gonna have hip hop Sundays.
Oh
You know what I
shit.
mean? So what I'll do is once we get going and we get established and all that, then on Sundays, because right now we're closed on Sundays, but I'm gonna have Sundays open and do a hip hop Sunday to where I'll have maybe the first 10 local artists that can come in and spit 16 bars on the mic without messing up. I got you on your haircut. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
shit.
And that'll kind of bring a vibe in here to where people will want to come in here and check out who's on the mic. And at
Yeah.
the same time, sit down, get a haircut, vibe with us, and things like that.
Hell yeah,
So
that's dope. That's
It's a
dope-ass
variety of,
idea.
yeah. And then I want to do also like interviews and stuff, like through a podcast, when I'm cutting hair. And,
Yeah.
I already have a lot of people hitting me up. Let me know when you want to do that so we could roll by and, we could film it. You could do an interview while you're cutting our hair and things like that. And the guys from Rich and Ruthless, even Lil Easy, every time they come down, they're like, "Gee, do you have your stuff with you?" "Nah, bro. Why?" "Oh, man, you're supposed to carry it all the time. You need to hook us up." So now, I told them, no, don't even trip. The next time you guys come down, just stop at the shop. We'll take care of whatever you need to before we go where we're going, and you guys will be looking fresh. So
Hell yeah.
You know what I
think
mean?
that'd be a dope ass commercial.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know?
Yeah.
Kind of little easy.
Little
yeah,
easy.
yeah.
Yeah.
That should be
So,
hard as hell.
yeah,
So on the grand opening, are you gonna do haircuts or
Yeah,
any
we're
type
gonna be
of-
open for business. I'll have my stylists here cutting hairs. They're good at doing fades and all that too, so they can get down.
Oh, dope.
And then I'll be doing cuts as much as I possibly can because I'll be busy with running
Yeah, I was
everything.
gonna say that.
Because that gets hectic, believe me. So I'll be in and out. So as if I get a chance, or I'll come in here and do a cut or two, and talk to people and show them how I cut and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then maybe head back outside and make sure everything's cool out there. And then plus we're performing too,
Oh,
so
nice.
we want to make sure we're involved in everything. But yeah, man, everybody come down on the 15th, check out the shop, come vibe with us, come talk to us. We'll let you know our story, and you get to meet Little Easy, the Rich and Ruthless family, and everybody that's coming down.
Hell yeah. That's dope as hell, man. 43rd Avenue in Bethany Home.
Yes, sir.
OG's Barbershop. Closed on Sundays right now. He's gonna pop some stuff up. You all gonna see that coming here pretty soon.
Hell yeah.
November 15th is the grand opening, bro. Super
sir.
dope. And then even for you smokers, they got the other one.
They got
cracking.
the other event at
You know
the
what I'm
same
saying?
time.
So,
Yeah.
you know what, man? I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna try to be out here November 15th. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
I can't
Appreciate
say I
that.
will because I gotta check the count.
Yeah, yeah.
My girl in the background, she's already looking like, nah, fool. Don't say that because I always be putting my foot in my mouth.
That's what my lady does to me all the time. I'll be like, yeah, bro, I'll be there. She's like, no, you won't.
Yeah, right when we get in the car, like, babe, we have
Yeah.
that, this and that. And I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah.
No, I know, bro. I know the feeling.
In the future, if are you ever gonna want to add more barbers? Like, how do you go about looking for folks, or just kind of like a network?
With folks that we look for barbers, experience is the biggest thing when you have a shop. So if I do, well, I am going to hire more barbers because we're going to put more chairs in here eventually. It'll just be come in, bring a person with you that you could cut their hair and show us what you got. And if we see that you do a good job, that's how you interview for your seat at the barbershop.
shit, for real?
Yeah, absolutely.
Damn.
So
I ain't never cut. I mean, I ain't no barber, so I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the main thing is you don't want to hire someone that says, yeah, I know how to cut hair, and you don't even see their work, and then they come in here and your customers are mad because, man, this guy's been messing me up. Like,
Yeah.
so that's why, usually when we handle that, it'll be like, yeah, absolutely, come in for an interview, bring somebody whose hair you could cut, and you can sit down and show us, your skill set, and we'll decide whether, you'll fit in here or not.
Oh yeah, wouldn't that be messed up if they bring someone that's like their trusty dusty, and they're like, oh man, you fucking burn my hair, you cut my damn hair, you motherfucker, don't hire this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, bro,
I'll tell them this is exactly why we do this.
this is exactly
This
why
is
this
exactly
is
why
the fucking
we do
place.
this. Yeah.
That is crazy, man.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, man, I'm so excited for you, bro. That's
Thank you.
That's such a big honor to not only have a shop, but to continue a legacy from your family, your mom, man. Shout out to your whole family,
Yeah,
bro.
absolutely. Thank
and
you.
then your daughter, going
Yes.
to that shit is dope, bro.
Oh, I'm excited,
like,
bro.
You're really,
Yeah.
that's literally generational
Yeah.
wealth, bro. You're really, putting something on for people to see. If you guys are listening, you guys got to see, man, your children's are very important, man. The knowledge, you guys can give them all kinds of stuff, but the knowledge is the most important thing. That's what they're going to
Absolutely.
hold on to the longest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you're out here killing it, bro. I'm excited for what you got going. I'm excited for the event.
Thank
You know what I'm saying? I want to see
Yeah.
you really rent a stage. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no, we got one. Trust me.
I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah. But there's a lot going. It's my birthday that day, so
Oh,
it's the grand
shit.
opening, my birthday,
Mhm.
and stuff like. So we want to do it big, bro. You know what I mean? So that's why we ended up doing
Hell yeah.
what we're doing.
That's
with that.
awesome. I want to ask you the design. Who does your design for like the OGs, the logos and stuff?
Wifey.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All in the house, baby.
All in house, baby. And
Yeah.
I've told that to people for years. You know what I mean? Like when we started getting serious about what we do, you already know. You reach out to people. Yeah, I want 400 for this. Yeah, I want 500 for this. So we're like, damn, that gets pretty damn pricey.
Yeah, bro.
So luckily, I have a hustler for a wife too, bro. Because she's like, well, let me figure out, what we could do, and she'll go in and teach herself how to do stuff, and then she'll come back and say, check out this merch I make. Damn. Oh, we in it. We don't
Hell
need to buy
yeah.
merch no more. And then when it came to like my album covers or my photography or my videos, she does all my videos, bro. She does all my album covers. She does everything. You know what I
Nice.
mean?
Shout out
So-
to wifey for that.
Oh, big shout out, bro.
Nice.
She's a big part of why I'm able to do what I do. You know what I mean? Because she supports 100% on that. So,
yeah. Well, when you get an OG shirt, man, I definitely want one of them joints.
Oh, we'll have some on the 15th, brother. We'll have some.
All right, I got. We gotta have some big boys.
Oh, I'll make sure we have some.
At least one. You know, all the other fat folks.
Yeah, we've got a few homies that are like, you gotta have the big size. I got you, bro.
It's America. We like to eat bullshit.
Yeah, I heard that.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, it's a privilege to talk to you, bro.
Thank you, bro.
And be here in your shop before it opens up officially on November 15th.
Yes, sir.
Yay, gay.
Yay.
Hey, man. November 15th, you said from 12 to 6.
Yes, sir.
You're going to be giving out trophies, so we definitely want to invite low riders.
Absolutely.
Car, dope ass cars and stuff.
If you guys are free, just, like I said, no registration fee. We want to, do this for the community, get everybody to come out and just vibe with us.
Definitely.
And even if you're a solo rider, you don't have to be in a car club, come register your car. I mean, you could take away something, you know what I mean? But we just want to have it, to where you could bring your families down here. You could vibe with us. You guys could check out the shop. We'll be doing a lot of stuff throughout the day, raffles, and giving out discounts for the shop for if in the future when you come in, you can get a discount on the cut or whatever. So we're definitely gonna take care of everybody, make sure everybody has a good time.
You guys heard that? So Arizonans, whether you just want to come hang out, check out some cars, check out some music, you gotta check out the shop because I feel like the barbershop, again, I know I'm big. I'm going to go back to the food reference. But, you sometimes you start eating someplace, you just comfortable with that.
Yeah.
So the same thing with like the barbershop. You want to be comfortable. You don't want to be jumping around,
Absolutely.
doing all this stuff. So this is a great opportunity to meet the owner, see what they got in place, man, and really vibe. So if y'all are looking for some place to come and, have a place to call home and be like, yeah, this is where I get my haircut. You know what I'm saying? Come to OG's, bro. And I'm excited. I'm excited for you, bro.
Yeah, we're excited too, bro. Absolutely.
I'm going to,
Thank you.
I always say I'm going to have to come get a cut, but I'm just going to throw my personal business out here. I might have to edit this out. No, I'm just kidding. One reason why I'm afraid of, I'm not afraid of barbers. I'm not afraid of you. But, I got these bumps in the back of my head. And I think it's because somebody probably, I never had these until I got into my 30s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
And I was like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So now my cousin, he cuts hair, so he's like more, careful. Because, if I just went into anywhere, they'd be like, wow. And it's like, all right, cool. And I'm,
Yeah, no, I've cut a few people that have told me the same thing. They have like the rolls and stuff back here. But it's just all
I
about
said bumps. I didn't say rolls.
No. That's the technical term. I got him too, bro. Who you playing with? But it's just you being as a barber. I've had a lot of barbers because I get some ROGs that come in and get haircuts, or when I was in school they would get haircuts when we do events. And I've been told plenty of times, damn, bro, you have a smooth hand when you're cutting hair, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, nice.
So I had a lot of practice and took a lot of advice from a lot of barbers that kind of show me how to do the things right and things like that. So I take pride in what I do, bro. I don't want nobody to come in here and leave that's unhappy, you know what I mean? So I want to make sure.
But also, I don't want to sit down and then so I'm like, oh, what's that shit in your neck? Get up off my chair, fool.
Nah, you're good, brother.
Yeah.
I got
someone was just asking me. They're like, hey, man, where do you get your haircut and stuff? So I kind of told him that real quick story.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, my cousin, he does, and he's been
doing it for years,
the same thing. He actually just got his barber license like 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? But he's, 49, and he's been cutting hair since he was fucking 19.
Yeah.
Since a teenager.
Yep.
I said, well, he does it just because, family,
Yeah.
I told him, I said, but he said, man, I'm trying to find somewhere close to here. Well, you live on 43rd, fool.
Now you know.
Yeah. And that's dope. So, and that's one of the biggest things when it comes to networking. Because sometimes when people say networking, they think really like on some, big type of shit. Nah, man, it could be something as far as a damn, haircut. Where you get a damn podcast done. Whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Stage, porta potties, whatever.
Everything. Bro. Everything, bro. You never know what you're going to need in the future. And you're going to be like, oh, I remember I met that one guy who said he had this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it all just comes together at the end.
Hell yeah.
Networking is huge, bro. You got to network. You have to.
Hell yeah.
One thing I'll tell, even with the whole music thing, bro, is like with me, I've never hated on any local artist. I don't feel like I'm in competition with any local artist. I just do my thing, bro. And that's advice I give to every artist is don't worry about what everybody else is doing, or if you're different than what everybody else is doing. Just focus on what you got. Focus on getting yourself ahead. kind of put those, those horse blinders on and just look straight forward and move. But you got to move, because when you
Yeah.
stand still, you ain't going to get nowhere.
Yeah,
Talent
for
only gets
sure.
you so far. You got to move and you got to be in people's face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and which is crazy because that social media has a lot to
Yeah.
do with that stuff, and people are talking out the.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like you said, it's one of those things where it's like, hey man, if you're gonna do something,
Just do it,
you
bro.
ain't gotta
do
you
it.
ain't gotta do all of this and
No,
stuff.
not at all. And
Someone once told me one time, they're like, hey man, whatever they got going is not gonna take food out of your if they're
Exactly.
doing the same exact thing you're doing, there's enough people to go around.
Yeah,
Where
exactly.
if they have a following, hey,
Yep.
so be it. Cool. Kudos, whatever. And do the same thing. So I'm real firm on that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look, man, if somebody has another podcast or another magazine or whatever, what have you, hey, man,
Yeah, yeah.
you
get
know,
that
I'm just
shit.
gonna consistency is key, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
just, as soon as you just stay consistent, and then you just build it into your own.
Yeah.
And sitting in here, I can see right now that you're building it into your own.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what makes it more like homely.
Yeah.
because like, hey, man, this
Well-
is it's tatted on his hand.
Yeah, we're gonna spend a lot of time in here, so I want to enjoy where I'm at and where I work. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
this is why I make it like home, and I think it's a vibe that everybody will enjoy when they come in here. You know what I mean? And there's a
Yeah.
lot to talk about just by looking at the walls, and I know everybody will have, well, what's that? Well, where'd you get this and stuff like that. And on this other side, I even have plaques from when we sponsored lowrider events. You know what I
Nice.
mean? So from Otra Vida and other car clubs that gave us plaques for sponsoring. So, and we're always sponsoring, bro. That's why, to me, it was like I've had lowriders in the past, but I gave up my lowriders to pursue my music.
Yeah.
So that's where all my money went for the longest time, for years, bro. You know what I mean? And it paid off because I got what I wanted out of that, and I got the links and stuff with Lil Easy and everything to do what I want to do with the music. And I was blessed in so many ways because of how we do business and how we interact with people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And being a part of the lowrider community and always, sponsoring and making sure events you're helping with, make sure events happen and stuff like that has always been our thing. We're doing a turkey drive for AZ Most Wanted, Gordy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
did
this
see
is going to
something
be
about
one of the
that.
stops that day on November 8th.
Oh,
So we're going to
nice.
be here from 6 to 7 handing out turkeys here in the parking lot.
Okay.
So if you're around here and you know anybody, or you yourself, your family need turkeys for Thanksgiving, make sure you pull on up between 6 to 7, and we'll send you away with some free turkeys out there too.
Bro, that's super
So,
dope, bro.
Yeah, so
It's like
know,
you're touching on every aspect, bro, but it's moving to one goal. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's like, damn, you killing
Yeah.
that shit, bro.
I appreciate
You know what I'm saying? For the barbershop, man, have you got social medias and all that good stuff popping for it?
Yeah, we just opened up a Facebook for OG's Barbershop. We sent a bunch of invites out, but you go on Facebook, OG's. We're gonna start doing Instagram one once we open the barbershop. So I'll be putting videos of me cutting hair, before and after shots, stuff like that. We'll be I want to get into doing like funny skits and little commercials to or to actually advertise the barbershop and things like that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be pushing social media really hard once we get that flowing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope. You gave me an idea right when you said that because, what I do is, like production and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes frequently we be looking for places to do skits and shit.
Yeah.
Too,
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So, and I think that's that's advantageous for both of us.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because it'd be like, bam, put the sign out there. This is where we at, and then just talk our little
Yeah.
shit. Do what we do.
Yeah, and then also on Monday we're meeting with the owner, so we'll be able to touch base with everybody because the parking lot here is huge.
Yeah.
You could do a lot in this parking lot. So once we talk
Prime
to the
real estate,
owner,
baby.
yep, and then she gives us our, kind of like guidelines in regards to what we can and can't do.
Yeah.
Then we'll be able to say we can open it up so we could have your trunk or treats and your tour drives and other little events. I'm definitely going to be having like back to school drives and stuff like that to give the kids free haircuts when they go back to school and all that stuff. So we have a lot of stuff coming, bro. It's just going to be ongoing. It's not just we're open and sit here with our thumbs to see who walks in.
Yeah.
We hustle and we don't stay sitting down. So it's going to be a lot going on once this place gets popping.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, brother.
Well, you know what, man? I'm excited, and November 15th, bro, is gonna
Yes,
be
sir.
cracking. I know you said that you're gonna start cutting here from then on.
Yes.
Is-
Right now I do cut here, but I do appointments only.
I got you.
Because I still work where I work, and then I get off at 2:30. So anybody that needs a haircut, I make an appointment from 2:30 forward, and I'll come here and do that. Once the grand opening is in place and it's over, then I'll be here consistently and all weekend. You know what I mean? So I'll be here a lot more than
Hell
what I'm
yeah.
doing
And then they
now.
can book online or.
You can book online. I have business cards that I give everybody with a number that you can call and schedule an appointment. Whatever, you can hit me up on social media. For everybody that follows me on social media, just send me a message. Hey, OG, I want to go get a haircut. Come on, what time? When? Let's go. You know what I mean?
Fuck
So
yeah.
there's a lot of ways you can contact me.
That's what's up, man. Come out here November 15th, and afterwards, come get your haircut, man. Become part of the family. 43rd and Bethany.
Yes, sir.
OGs, man. Barbershop. That's super dope, bro.
Thank
and
you,
we,
brother. I
I'm
appreciate
excited for you, and come get your cut, man. Come hang out, and there's gonna be a lot of good stuff. You guys got to come check out the stuff on the wall. That's super
Yes.
dope. That just gives it a little aesthetic.
Yeah. And in the future too, you see that little partition we have back here.
Oh yeah.
I have my friends coming down from Hawaii that are tattoo artists that are going to be tattooing out of there.
Oh shit.
That'll probably be sometime in the middle of next year sometime. But that's our plan for that area over there, is so that way you can come in and even get tatted while somebody's getting a haircut and shit. You know what I mean?
Bro, that's just crazy as fuck. I went back there to use the restroom quick. I thought that was you. Happy endings and shit. I was like, what the fuck is that?
You get everything over here.
You get it all.
You get it all over here.
That's exclusive shit.
Yeah.
Hey, live right approved. Hey man, it's been super dope, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Deep
Thank you.
diving into the barbershop, man, and growing it, and I'm sure you're so big in the community. I see you all the time, like on
Yes, sir.
Instagrams and all the stuff, whatever you do stuff, man. I'm sure that you're gonna have much success, bro, growing
Thank
it
you,
out to the
brother.
lowrider stuff and the lowrider community, some more stuff, the lowrider community, and
Absolutely.
and just building that name. And then obviously, man, I've always respected you, and I like you, bro. You're
Thank
good
you,
people.
brother.
So whenever we can, we're gonna throw it in people's ears. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I already got a couple people, like the dude I was talking about.
Yeah.
He was just asking me about a barbershop.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, oh, bro. I said, yeah, I'll let you know what's up. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I have somebody else that cuts hair. But,
Yeah.
it's consistency, bro.
Yeah, that's at the end
like
of the day.
instead
bro.
of getting more into that, it's just
Yeah.
consistency.
Yep.
It's hard to give people business when they're not consistent.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Like, just say for instance, like the podcast stuff. We are consistent every Wednesday, and I
Yeah.
tell people I don't care if they watch it or not. I just want them to know in the back of their head it's on Wednesday at 8:00.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I do that, I feel like I'm winning.
Yep.
Because they know if they ever want to, it's available.
Yep.
And when they're available, I'm here, and I'll still be doing the same thing
Yep.
and doing this, man.
Hell yeah.
So,
And I know
um,
since we first vibed with you, bro, you guys were cool as hell too. That's why every time I need to put something out, it's just Mike.
hell
So,
yeah.
you know,
We try, bro.
Yeah,
We
absolutely. you know
try
what
to
I mean?
go out there and network, bro. And it's super dope that now that you're gonna be out here and we're gonna that we definitely you definitely gonna see us out here. To
Hell
smoke on,
yeah.
bro.
Hell yeah. Oh, I know. We'll be doing some things
Yeah,
together.
yeah. It's definitely gonna happen.
Hell yeah.
I can feel it in my nuts. Hey, my dude, it's been super fun.
Thank you, brother.
I appreciate you, bro. Next time we have this conversation, maybe we be getting a haircut or
Oh,
some odd
absolutely.
shit,
Absolutely.
and we'll be back. So,
Yes, sir.
With that being said, man, this is a live ride exclusive, man, and this is a live ride approved, bro. OG's Barbershop, 43rd and Bethany, home at Mount Boy. OGT is killing this shit. Grand opening November 15th, man. They got the stage, they got performers, they got Little Easy E, they got some 420 friendly stuff that's gonna be a part of the stuff. Free, food. There's gonna be haircuts, all kinds of vendors, man. You guys need to pop out,
Yep.
support Arizona, support my man OGT, get a fresh haircut, man. We're right here in Prime, West Phoenix. He's super convenient, man.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta come out here. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir, brother.
Is there
You already
anything
know
you
all
want to
is
say
love.
before we get up out of this junk?
Yeah, man. Just everybody, make sure you pull up November 15th. The things we do for you guys. So we want to make sure that we stay in contact and keep everybody connected and treat everybody like family. So November 15th, you don't want to miss it. It's a free event for the entire family. Bring the kiddos. We'll be out here. Get your kids' cuts down here while you have a chance. And we make sure we take care of you, man. 43rd and Bethany, 6013 North 43rd Avenue. Holla at your boy, Rich and Ruthless, baby.
Yeah. We out of here, man.